Radio Democracy go look inside issue them, where they between the councillor them and the deputy mayor na the Freetown City Council.
For Seka that, I want to welcome Abdul Karim Fufana from Ward 445, Constituency 123, and the chairperson in charge of information communication for the councillors them. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon. Continue for the week inside the program, Abdul Karim Fufana. We come back to you from Ward 445.
Today we tell you that the program this Tuesday edition, we can look at issue them. We councillor them na the Freetown City Council say then get against the deputy mayor na the Freetown City Council. We make we see last week then be write a letter to the Minister of Local Government, Usai, then state the reasons them we make them not want the deputy mayor again. And then we give 7 days to the ministry for respond to then concern them where they don't raise because they say they don't want the deputy mayor. Well, the 7 days where they been given done yesterday, we want for know what's the situation now, and also for let them share with one of the listeners and viewers them na Facebook. Waiting make them say they don't want the deputy mayor na the Freetown City Council again. And for talk about that, we don't introduce earlier Councillor Abdul Karim Fufana, where then award 445, Constituency 132 na Lumley. Good morning again. Welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Thank you very much, mate. It's my pleasure.
And also na the program this morning, I want to welcome Floyd Alex Davis, we na local government experts, and also na they may work on the 2004 Local Government Act, and are the lead consultants for the local government policy and serve the review of the 2004 Local Government Act. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Yeah, good day.
Well, Floyd Alex Davis in the studio this morning for can explain to listeners them as inner experts on local government issues them and serve the law. They can tell on the listeners them waiting at the procedures them where it take for pool. Well, today for the purpose of this program, the procedure them will involve according to the law for pool the deputy mayor na the Freetown City Council as nine the councillor then say they know once again. But before we can talk to Floyd Alex Davis, we go to the one them we get the issue when the councillor where they are this morning, where they represent incoming councillor them na the Freetown City Council as na then get issues with the deputy mayor where they say they know once again. As part 3 na the 2004 Local Government Act, Section 13, subsection 3 say the deputy chairperson where also applicable for the deputy mayor, then say them set them up in office set up for let it assist the chairperson in performance of in function them and set for acts in the absence of the chairperson. Well, part 3 also gives specific thing them as to how and the procedure that will involve if they don't want the deputy chairperson for come out and seats. Well, like I say, we get the experts and we're going to explain, but let me go to the councillors them. Councillor Abdul Karim Fufana, you there this morning, they represent you, company councillor them. Let me start for no first. What's the problem where the councillor and the Freetown City Council gets with a deputy mayor?
Listeners, good morning out there. 3 months back, a resident by the name Baba Kanu became complained of Freetown City Council to the chairperson in charge of Labour Establishment Committee. Say the deputy mayor, Usman Tolokoma, they receive a sum of money when 54 million from for a particular place within an Egan Street, which I call Grambide. So upon that complaint received from Baba, we decide for get in touch with the deputy mayor so that we're able to sit down together and let we know what's in the way forward, whether the allegation or the level against are true or not. So the secretary for the Labour Establishment Committee, when Mr. Campbell writes an official letter, the informer say you get a complaint, we come to the committee, somebody alleged against you, say you extort money from not only extort money from you get false receipts. So upon that one day, the councillors that were in charge of that particular committee requested one for Sudan with you and ask a series of questions, whether not true or not. Or them we do our once, you know, respond 2 times, you know, respond 3 times again, you know, respond to we. Of course, come out bold in a council meeting, we say everybody be there and say, you know, go sit on any kangaroo committee for explaining what's really happening and Baba. But we also get audios, we get messages that we text Baba, we tell Baba, say Baba, no worry, within 2 weeks, our worship is supposed to travel out of the country, saying go fair ways and means address the issue. He even tell Baba, say, go, you fund back the money, we'll get back another piece of land elsewhere. So Baba come by, came back to me, say, up to now, our ladies complain, and able to take any action, and they will give me the way forward, not the way forward towards this particular issue. So we decided again back for the last time for go meet her. For the 4th time again, so well, made the secretary for the Labour Establishment Committee, right again back, for ask her why you not give for honor the invitation. when they go meet again back, he say, you know, go na any kangaroo committee. So we as elected officials, we as in colleagues them, because now we elect them for be the deputy mayor, thought are necessary, say, it not done, you're done, especially we happen for be the secretary team of the municipality. So upon it, we sit down together, the BNF committee, we comprises of all chairpersons, right, all the committees there. Also get the labor enforcement committee, we also there. So in as much, the gentleman say, you know, go adhere to any call, you know, go sit down and talk with yourself about what is a win engineer them, we said them. Fair enough, we go left with no option, but we self go come out to opposition. So opposition was that 2/3 majority of 38 of the councillors then within the municipality pender with signatories and they'll write a letter to the minister. We say we don't want to get the deputy mayor. Reason being, we'll find a one for corrupt practices. Why if they serve the capacity as deputy mayor? If falsify council documents. If falsified council documents.
And I get evidence to that effect?
Yeah. A backdated 2014. Way in 2018 we can cancel. Notwithstanding that, we also found out for corrupt practices. And then we also found out for misconduct of office and then behavior within incapacity to serve as deputy mayor. Because if you also tell we see, you know, go to any kangaroo court story, we also see as a don't flout the 2004 Local Government Act. Because if you take a look at Section 19(1), it say local council may appoint such committees, consist of such councillors, and perform such functions as the council may think fit. So the Labour Assessment Committee, like a committee will charge with the responsibility for man the affairs of council issue. For instance, if complaining, recruitment issues, whatever within the council, and that committee they responsible for that. Also security issues. So if they don't go report the second gentleman of the municipality, and if it's not for honor any call, he say you no go do anything, no go respond to win a kangaroo committee. First of all, the man don't flout the acts because there's a provision within the act. We make provision for that one for the committee therefore establish. So because of all anything we find and one thing, we come up with a conclusion, say we know how many certificate within that capacity.
Describing the committee as kangaroo committee, somebody go like for ask, would that then the part of this committee also, we the deputy mayor, as you allege, they describe as kangaroo committee?
The committee comprises of councillors and then also the HR will approve for be the secretary of the committee.
So prior to this particular issue, when I begin get with the deputy mayor and the Freetown City Council, how you go describe the relationship we been there between una before this time?
Initially, it was cordial. We do everything in common. But upon the receipt of the complaint we get from Mr. Baba, automatically change the mood. In fact, even go to the extent that we say we just a waste of time. There is no way we will remove her. He said the ministry will never respond to it. Now we say, okay, no problem. We go start the process and see what will be the outcome of it.
You don't make mention of different allegations against the deputy mayor. Well, for the purpose of this program, we'll be extend an invitation to just for let the listeners they know, for let be part of the show today. But he been saying not going to respond to the media until he hear from the ministry. We safely wait for hearing from the ministry for sake of the letter won't have been right. But issues we get for do it, misconduct on alleged corruption, misuse of office, and other thing them we una they make against the deputy mayor. How una reach the conclusion for say the offenses here so he commits them?
Well then, by law, just like we analyze the provision we make.
For example, the misuse of office. How a misusing office?
Good. Why is he be serving the capacity as deputy mayor while I was?
He been there or is he serve?
Why is he be serve? Because we don't take a resolution with the elected
So for
officials.
Una to deputy
of
mayor
course,
right
we not
now.
recognize again as deputy mayor. Why is he be serve in the capacity as deputy mayor? He falsified council documents and backdated to 2014. And also extort money from somebody when a resident within the municipality, when a 54 million, he say he will get a particular piece of land in Ega Street. At the end of the day, no give the gentleman. So we call her for make you explain to all in the day because of you feel for humble himself, I can explain to you whether what the man alleged against and are true or not. So we conclude, say indeed what the man alleged against is facts.
The matter still there under review by the ministry, and ministry not put word it, and Una don't decide say is no more the deputy mayor of the Freetown municipality. On which basis and which power Una gets for arrive at that conclusion and pass that verdict?
Well then, if you also take a look at the Local Government Act, provisions that they will make, we create forum, say if somebody they find you one thing or you misbehave why you deserve that capacity the day, like if you take a look at 13. If you go to section 13, it also will tell you how you for remove a deputy mayor if you find out one thing or a flout in responsibility. Yeah, you use it. You say section 13 4, section 12. No, section 13 4 say section 12 shall apply with such modification as may be necessary to the removal of office of a deputy chairperson. The provision where they make now section 12 is applicable without a done again.
So you say when them find somebody wanting, and in a situation you don't explain, say this person not being agree for attend the committee we wanna set up. I wanna find out wanting now we wanna not get from her.
Well, then it became all the leverage for me you can't prove yourself innocent to be. But because you fail for can't tell me what really happened between the gentleman, and then they don't allege against her with such status will be expensive for them can say what this man is saying are true, but what this man is not true. Since he failed for a day to we can explain to you. So we conclude, we come up with the conclusion, say indeed he's guilty.
You don't begin explain the issues them and how una resolve una reach the resolution say una get certain crimes them according to una commit. You don't explain what get for do with the misuse of office. Let we look at the corruption allegation. Waiting at the corrupt practice where una they say the deputy mayor and the Freetown City Council involving.
If you extort money from somebody when are your residents, you mandate her for make sure say you provide basic social amenity for her. Then you extort money from her, you promise her say you'll get a piece of land. You know, go to do procedures. Now corrupt practice. So because of that one, they will also find out wanting for corrupt practice.
So the complaint with this person in Calais, it bring evidence then for sure say this deputy mayor take money from him.
Bring somebody be the way now witness, a count the letter, a count the receipt to the deputy mayor get way back in 2014, when at 2018 we take over governance.
All right, continue for the between at the studio. That's at the voice of Councillor Abdul Karim Fofana. They represent incoming Councillor them at the Freetown City Council at the program this morning. As they therefore explain issues them we then get against the deputy mayor at the Freetown City Council. We make they don't say they don't want time again. The program Good Morning Salon they continue 8 a.m. at the time from the studio clock with the take break and come over to the local government experts. We go can explain what the law say if they want for unseat the deputy mayor.
The program na Good Morning Salon where they come to you from 98.1 FM, and we will bring you this edition of the program. Musa Kamana the name
and Mabel Kaba.
As we introduced earlier, we get the local government experts na the studio. We don't take part pan plenty reviews and also local governance structures them na the country where na Floyd Alex Davis as then at the studio as an expert for giving expert opinion on the issue at hand. We said councillors then at the Freetown City Council don't resolve say they now want the deputy mayor again as the spokesperson for the councillors then at the studio don't highlight the reasons them we then give for that action where they don't take as they don't report them to the Ministry of Local Governments and the matter still lay before local government but then don't decide say they don't want them again. Floyd Alex Davis, once more good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Yeah, good day.
You don't listen the explanation and you don't follow the issue. As local government experts, you then at the studio for give you an expert opinion as to the stages and how then they come about for pull local government or somebody na the local council, especially the deputy mayor na the Freetown City Council as the case at hand now. First of all, what do you make up of the entire situation between the councillor and the mayors them na the Freetown City Council?
Well, now it's that situation when you get councillors, they up against one senior member of the council. You'd always hope, say, when local council for progress, there should be that one voice, one unity. Then forget the purpose of mind. So whenever you get such problem, a big problem is that situation because you're not going to make council run, then go undermine each other. And that's not only the purpose for it, then set up local councils. But again, in every society, even a church or mosque, tits and tongue go jam. And when in jam, you get rules and regulations where they in place for solve the problem and for make them come to an amicable resolution. So not a surprise for make them get such issues. The law always make provision for that.
So as we been listening previously, where Councillor Abdul Karim Fofana be explain according to them they don't use section 13 for pull the deputy mayor, even though they be done write to the ministry, they not get feedback it. In say they don't use that section of the law when una put together for pull the deputy mayor. From the 2004 Local Government Act, explain to listeners them waiting at the procedures them for pull deputy chairperson, here when at the deputy mayor, waiting involve. If councillor them say they don't want them again.
Well, the Local Government Act, as Fambule know, na 2004 they enact some, and that law they now in the Bible and the Quran for all the local councils. If you want to know the functions of local councils, how then they get their money, how then they work, then powers them, how then they all meeting, how then they discipline each other, and how for resolve problem like this way happen, where you get allegation of corruption or abuse of office. All that's now inside this Local Government Act. Now there you go get the answer. Now, there is some, if you look the Local Government Acts, some mistake they because if you look different acts them, that's section 13. Section 13 make reference to section 12 in some acts, then it make reference to section 13 back in other acts them. I think say Parliament may intend for make that section 13 they refer to section 12. But they make that mistake, they then say section 13. But I see in some other prints them, some other people may don't go change them to section 12. But Parliament really na section 13. So if you ask me, stick to senso, section 12 not apply to the deputy mayor. But even if section 12 apply, you know, I don't think so they follow the right procedure.
What do you think is the right procedure?
The right procedure na section 6. Because since there is a mistake in section 13, section 6 and section 9 of the Act. Because all councillors, including the mayor and deputy mayor, they are all councillors. All right? But because like the mayor and deputy mayor then get special status, then get special provisions that we deal with them. But they are all councillors. So if there is a mistake in section 13, then you go remove the deputy mayor, how you remove councillor. But I go discuss also how do you remove councillor, then how you remove a mayor if it apply to deputy mayor. They not follow both provisions.
What in 6 and 9 say on the removal of deputy mayor?
Now, 9, the talk say, if you want to remove any councillor, the councillor go lost in seats if he die. Or if the councillor writes to the mayor, in this case, the deputy mayor writes to the mayor, say, in the resign, in don't tire. Or if the councillor absent from 3 consecutive meetings without informing the mayor or forgive any good excuse why he is absent. Or if a contract for discussion they honor a council, where the deputy mayor get interest day. But in not tell council say he get interest, he sit down, he deliberates, then they award the contract. Then he also say a councillor go be disqualified under section 6, subsection 2 of the Act. Now, within subsection 2 of subsection 6 say, he say a councillor will be disqualified from a local council if he become an employee of that local council day, or if you're not able to perform a function due to sickness of mind or body, some say he lost a mental sense, or some say he become incapacitated through injury, or he become a practicing professional, or he be minister, he be a member of the judiciary, he be paramount chief, etc. Then, C, where I think say applicable, yeah, say, if they can go courts, then they sentence them to death or imprisonment for any offense, including fraud, dishonesty, where I think say now that's then they bring and come for.
Section 6.
Yes, section 6, yes. Yes, or violence. Okay.
Section 12, the chairperson will be removed from the office by the local council.
We go cancel Dandy. We go cancel Dandy. We go cancel Dandy.
So now we look at the 9 we explained earlier. One of the reasons for the removal of a councillor, now we absent from meetings 3 consecutive times. And where Councillor Abdul Karim Fofana been the talk, they don't summon the deputy mayor in a meeting where you know agree attend. The meeting where there is someone for attend, where you not attend. Now one of the sittings them way 9 they refer to.
No. This not a committee meeting, 9 then they refer to. What's in the act refer to now? That council meeting. Like when you say parliament's the seats. You know, parliamentary seats. So you go say the local council general meeting. Now that's then they refer to.
So don't look at the 12.
No, before we go to 12, there is a procedure for 9 and 6.
Okay.
All right. If you disqualify under 9 and 6, how you they remove them? Okay. You they remove them, the council of them go reports. Say this man don't become disqualified.
So for then the report.
Then they report to council now. All right. Then go report to the mayor.
Body.
Yes, so the general body. Say this person, first of all, if not for dishonesty, like how they say, it will only become disqualified if they can go courts, then they don't convict them of dishonesty. The courts don't find them guilty.
So according to them, it said they don't summon the deputy mayor. So as by waiting there inside the local government act, where then they work under, they're not being supposed for summon the deputy mayor.
Not now. Now after they don't care and go courts, like the person we may get a case against her, don't care and go courts. The courts don't convict her of dishonesty. That's when it don't become disqualified as a councillor.
So if you come for explain now, waiting on that
wait, make her done this. I beg, make her done this. Let me just understand this quick. So when it don't become disqualified, that's when now anybody can go lay and complain on a council. Say this man, they don't find them guilty of dishonesty. So we want to make them remove him as a councillor. So you they go report now on a council. The other man go report them. But if I don't be after a conviction, after we don't report some council now, they set up a committee. Not so that labor committee who then set up, then in a standing committee, then get a special committee for remove councillor. Then call on the complaints and arbitration committee. Now council, they recommend independent people and
so then suppose for don't get the 6 and 9 rights before they come 12?
Yes, before they come to 9. We come to 12. 12 different. Okay? 12 different. When they don't set up this arbitration and complaints tribunal, now then they recommend independent people and not to councillor, then they make up that committee day. And then they recommend to the minister. Now the minister then they approve other than for seats in this committee. When this committee don't sit down and meet, then they get their reports to council. Then from the reports now council go all council meeting and then go vote whether they want the councillor or not. Where they not follow. That's in other words, if section 13 talk about section 13, all right? But if section 13 talk about section 12, then how you remove mayor, now you go remove, now the same way you go remove deputy mayor. So let's discuss section 12 now. If now section 12 they apply. If now section 12 they apply, the waiting the councillor them for do, them for writes to the minister, they lay complain. They say this man here don't do corrupt acts. All right? Then he supply all the evidence we then get to the minister. When the minister don't receive them, within 7 days, the minister they inform the Chief Justice of Sierra Leone. Say, I think we get ground, councillors and get ground for make we investigate the deputy mayor. After 7 days where the Chief Justice don't receive this report from the minister, the Chief Justice appoints 3 people for investigate the deputy mayor. We go include 1 High Court judge, then with 2 independent people. Now then go sit down now. Then call, now then go invite the deputy mayor. Now before then the deputy mayor go appear. All right? Then, when they don't done the investigation, they go now send a report to the council. Then council now go read this report in a council meeting. Whatever the insider reports, the council can decide now for take a vote.
So according to them, they already don't write to the Minister of Local Government and the 7 days don't elapse. But earlier we be they explain, you said them for don't go force na courts. done that procedure. So then for being done that court procedure before they write the minister or say they don't want them.
That's if na under section 9 and section 6. The procedure then different. Okay. Yes. All right.
So where they don't use this 12 and 13 where they explain so and leave in the 6 and 9 and not applicable.
The points where they try for make, irrespective of any one way they use, then gets a wrong. If now 6 and 9 they use, a wrong.
Where the 12 and 13 where they use?
12 and 13 back a wrong.
Why?
Because for 12, not to then they investigate. That labor and establishment committee, not to the committee who for invites the deputy mayor. Now, the deputy mayor refused for good day. All right. Now, minister, like how they don't write that letter to the minister, they therefore waits for the minister. Sometimes the reason why the minister not respond to them, I don't know. Sometimes they don't get enough evidence for show to the minister because the act say where you the reports for dishonesty, corruption, you for supply all the evidence there. Then, when the minister convenes, the minister now go inform the Chief Justice under Section 12.
All right.
Then, the Chief Justice now, he appoints 3 people, including a judge and 2 independent people.
Quick one, Floyd Alex Davis. The council lawyer say, then don't get rid of the deputy mayor, and that decision is final. For you, it thinks that decision is right or wrong?
Well, not only for me, even for the councillor, say the decision wrong because this local government acts now the Bible and the Quran, and I don't discuss both provisions. Okay? 6 and 9, they not follow 6 and 9. In case you want to argue, say 6 and 9 not operates, now 12 9 operates, they not follow 12 as well.
Continue for the with me inside the program. Floyd Alex Davis, local government expert inside the program. The program na Good Morning Salon. Inside the program, we continue for look at more issues. And we go now the Minister of Local Government who say as state councillors them now the Freetown City Council don't vote for Pool Commode, the Deputy Mayor, now the Freetown City Council, Usman Kurma, and the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development and Balamina don't say the ministry they invite them councillor for make them sit down and look inside the allegation before they take any decision. They talk this inside one interview with Radio Democracy, where even they talk about waiting the Minister of Local Government make up of the position of the 38 councillors. Then we report the Deputy Mayor to the ministry. He talk more to Cherno Jalo inside this interview.
After the Rebel War. Okay.
Yes, I will confirm, say, I received a letter dated the 4th of February.
Okay, so what did they say this letter?
Well, the letter they tell we say, they notify we say they want to remove the deputy mayor of Freetown City Council.
So what now take from the ministry, your point of view, to this call that people have to make?
Well, we don't receive the letter. Don't instruct for let them invite the councillors then to a meeting for next week. For that we can talk on the issues and waiting legal and waiting illegal.
So in a situation where the council then say, then they quote from direct from the constitution, then they allege say it into corruption and they misuse the office, and according to them, this all state now the Local Government Act of 2004 say when a deputy mayor or a deputy chairperson involved in such practice automatically for removed from office, with 2/3 of the council then voting for that particular motion, where according to their own case, they say 38 of them don't already vote for pull-up.
Well, we get processes and procedures with regards to investigating issues. We need for be very robust and for make sure say we fair to every individual, no matter waiting at their standing. As far as are concerned, allegations, they make allegations, and their allegations then they the same allegations the way they may make initially, where they stop the deputy mayor for say enough for sign checks with the mayor they away from the city. I've been don't get a meeting with the mayor and the deputy mayor and also the deputy director of FDD and the permanent secretary. We meet in my office now. We look at the issues. We'll be there for tell the mayor say they're not being get right for do that day. Because when it comes to financial matters and issues of wherein allegations are raised on financial issues in councils. A very important say the department where they support whether the financial directorate of the ministry, we then based at the Ministry of Finance, then therefore be part of that investigation there for actually establish whether any wrongdoing there. This now a deputy mayor of a city, they no go just sit down no more. Whatever, of course, the process of electing a deputy mayor, now in the first sitting after elections, where the councillors then go vote for the deputy mayor. Rightly, that now may happen that day. But once that person they don't get into a position, now a senior person inside the council, we not expect say now the establishment committee, now they go sit down no more, they look at investigate that person there and bring a ruling where they go say then they remove the deputy mayor. So but we want for the councillors them be very patient, because sometimes people then can misinterpret the act and some of the regulations. It not necessarily means say we council go then go take decisions in a council. That means for say already the decision it get for pass. If it's not the wrong thing that people then get usually can do. It get for conform within the law. So I go want for let them be patient until we meet and let we talk on the issues then they issues of law and issues of rights.
The act they also say 7 days, the ministry for the react.
Well, my reaction, now for say them go get letter. I just say I received her yesterday. They will get letter where they invite them for let we meet.
In a situation where I come on a launch an investigation, I find out say the man not wanting a footing and they allege, what think will be the next step?
Well, I don't want to preempt anything. Clearly, the allegations then get for day. The council, of course, will partner with them, then therefore be involved in the whole thing, so that we will establish whether that not the situation, whether there is any wrongdoing.
So I think the step from the council for call for removal automatically not a good one.
Well, I feel say a premature based on the processes the way they use. Now that make I want for we all sit down and for let them understand say the key role as councillors now for development, now the Freetown municipality, and for make sure say things then work for them people them. Of course, issues that are administrative, then they take time for let we try for deal with them. But I believe say once they don't raise the allegations and that team they set for look at whether there is any financial malpractice, twinning with the FDD, the council twinning with the FDD, that will give fair play to anybody where they make allegation against, especially at that senior level.
So if Rafa now see the man want him, he will come out in office?
Well, obviously, there are requirements. Of course, people that way they engage in financial malpractice, of course, not to best practice. Anybody who is involved in that, obviously, we will support the Freetown City Council for let that person they know the imposition.
That's the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Stambalamina. They talk to Cheno Jalo inside the interview there. We say they talk about the letter where the 38 councillors then at the Freetown City Council writes to them for Seka, the deputy mayor, where they say they don't want again at the council. The program na Good Morning Saloon where they can take from 98.1 FM.
Well, we'll still continue with the issue we get for do with the councillor, then we still don't want the deputy councillor, the deputy mayor, sorry, and the Freetown City Council. And we don't listen to an interview where we do last week with the minister for confirm if they don't receive the letter and waiting next will get for happen. But before we come over to the councillor, because we hear the minister, they talk in that interview, they say they want for let the councillor them patients, let the minister get back to them. But according to them, he said they recognize the deputy mayor again as a deputy because for them, they don't pull them. We also get the local government experts at the studio. When they put the law together, they don't explain waiting the law say. And I notice, as you may explain earlier, Mr. Davis, they come quickly to you for say mistakes seem for day na the law because even off air just now where we do some comparison, the law we may get before me na so section 13 they talk about how for pull the deputy mayor and there is a mix up because in the get here that says section 12. Now we look at who say the mistake don't happen because if then say they don't use this same law we wanna put together for pull the deputy mayor, but you they explain say there is a mistake where they miss a point, we make it not possible let them say that the law then use for don't pull the deputy mayor. Now, outside this mistake happen, me they show na say, me law me they look na so section 4, it says subsection 13 shall apply with such modification as may be necessary to the removal from the office as deputy chairperson. If you look at the law we instead get when a 2004 Local Government Act, in they refer to section 12. Now, outside the mistake happen, where the same law in our 2004 Local Government Act, where they get two different explanations for this particular section. What happen?
Well, I think say get for do with the printing. Okay. Me own law I get now section 13. You see. So because of this mix up, now that make when I start discuss both situation. If the law way me gets away you get, they refer to section 13, then how for remove the deputy mayor go be out and they remove an ordinary councillor. Now that make I discuss section 6 and section 9, then procedure.
So yeah, now the councillor then wrong, or now the one them we make the mistake when they do the printing.
Now the points where they say both situations the councillor they wrong. Okay, if that section 13 you use, the councillor they not follow the correct procedure. If that section 12 they use, they not follow the same section 12 procedure as well. So according to the Local Government Act, even if there is a confusion in the Local Government Act, all two the situations them the council not follow.
So for you
both
entirely,
positions.
you get issue with the procedure where the councillor then use
Yes,
for say
the
they don't want the
procedure.
deputy mayor.
Yes, they not get
Not
procedure,
the constitution itself or the law itself.
right? No, because anyway, not two different way they are the law, and they not follow both. So in other words, in null and void.
Okay, make a count to Abdul Karim Fofana from Ward 445 and constituency 132. You know the chairperson in charge of information and education and communication. We represent councillors them at the studio. You don't listen the argument from the local government experts on una decision we una take so far. But before we come to the response to that, you say the whole issue of this councillor or the deputy mayor removal. Now a report from one Baba Kamara for land, and earlier you mentioned say one thing we una notice the deputy mayor being falsified documents and give to this person. Yeah. And in a situation like this, what can the council do about this individual? We also receive a falsified document, knowing that the document is backdated back in 2014, but not report them unless we not get the land.
So I just want to make reference again to what Barrister be saying here. If you take a look back at 6, they talk how somebody could be qualified for.
We can't do that.
When you take a look again at let's just clarify something. When you take a look at 9 again, they also tell you how somebody could be disqualified for becoming councillor, as the case might be. Then they'll just continue with the arguments, right? If they use section 13, it also make provision how you for remove the chairperson or deputy chairperson, as the case might be. So now we forget about section 12 now. 13 there, they talk about that one day again as well. You understand? Eh? Make I read that again now. Because maybe I said don't talk about just now. Now, 13.4 say, it say, yes, 13.4. It says section 12, don't be wrong for me, 13, shall apply with such modification as may be necessary to the removal of office of a deputy chairperson. That's the first stage that one day. We use that one day. Then the second again, we write the minister. The law says for inform the minister. Within 7 days, the minister's responsibility or the ministry's responsibility for make sure say they copy the chairperson and tell us if they don't receive a complaint from social people or from the councillors, they say they don't want the deputy mayor. Within that process, they inform the chief justice. They don't pass 7 days since we write the letter to the minister, we outline the reason why we say we don't want her, and then we two-thirds majority, names of councillors, words, and signatures. You understand? We don't do all that process. We don't pass it. So now, the responsibility now lies in the hands of the ministry. The ministry responsibility is to make sure say they notify council first of all that the chairperson, when the mayor, for say don't receive a complaint from councillors then with a resolution of 2/3 majority that 8 of them say they don't want a deputy mayor, then they outline the reasons why.
So I know if the ministry don't write to the mayor
up to now. In relation to this particular issue, up to now, nothing like that. You understand? And then also the minister or the minister the responsibility for inform the chief justice for making set your panel of investigators who can investigate the issue. But we as councillors, just like as I say, not to rewrite the act. Just like what the party explained, he said the act is complicating.
So for Floyd, he not get issue with the act in complicated one. He gets issue with the procedures.
And the procedures now, so they talk about so now. The procedures. One of the procedures, we don't write the ministry. We don't inform them within 7 days. And so the law said, not also say, sir, within 7 days, the ministry responsibility. Now for copy, the chairperson or the mayor, as the case might be, say, I receive complaints from so people them say, do not want the deputy mayor with the reasons they outline. We don't do that one day. The ministry responsibility also for inform the chief justice for right to informer a copy of all the allegations all level against her. They find this up to the
So parts of the procedure where the legal experts just don't explain, so we get for do with 6 and 9, where una been for don't go to court for said and and guilty and una gets all una evidence before una can use 13. Una been reached to that stage for gonna court with the matter. The person we get in case for carry the deputy mayor in issue gonna court.
Two approach.
Just a moment. Maybe I'm coming. The procedure we council use, not to section 12 procedure they use. Now that section 6 and 9 provision 9 they use. Okay? Because there's use.
But according to it's not 13.
No, they're not but not saying they follow. Now, that section 6 and 9, that provision within a mere you act 9 they follow. Because if you listen, it will tell you, say, then set up, then bring this labor and establishments committee. 9 then set up, where then invites the deputy mayor for can answer. Then in that section 6 and 9 procedure, then they.
So let we for the purpose of this discussion say they miss that part for say they set up their own committee. Mm-hmm. But also you said we don't state earlier say under that 13 day will be the talk about they're supposed to write to the minister.
Yes.
And they don't write to the minister. Sure. They don't tell them say they get their issues here.
Yeah.
So waiting then they miss again. If they don't write and inform the minister and the 7 days with the loggy don't elapse, the ministry according to them not get back to them.
If I understand waiting council talk, then writes to minister and tell and say, we don't remove this man. As far as then concerned, Labour and Establishment Committee don't investigate.
Is that the case? Una later say una don't remove or una
not remove. We state say we don't move a resolution. We don't take a resolution against the deputy mayor. Say we don't want to make it serve again as a deputy mayor based on the full allegations. Then.
So that's a letter of removal una send to the mayor, say to the minister, say this person will not want to again.
So Mr. Davis, according to the law, a letter of removal then for send or a letter for complaint, say then get issue with them. 1 minute, said the legal expert just explain that.
Now, a letter of complaints say we get allegation against this man. We want for removal. So under section 6 and 9, then suppose for set up a complaints and arbitration tribunal.
So being that not to like general election and the votes for the deputy mayor, and then the councillor then say, now then votes for him, and now they say they don't want him, and the procedure we explain is not applicable.
No, now, you know, go talk say, now then votes for him. It just start like, we, na salon, me and you, any of we representatives we vote for we na parliament, na me and you vote. Because women don't vote for her, na constituency election. So now the same thing for deputy mayor. All man don't vote for the council or them. Then the council or them now the first meeting, now then they sit down now, then they vote Udana, deputy mayor. But that vote where then they vote, take and say, now we all the votes for her. So it's not like now them votes on their own behalf, then votes on behalf of the electorate. So not to their own votes.
Okay.
Now on behalf of the electorate. So you not go talk say, now we vote for her. So no, the law say you are all elected, and out of the elected members, una go vote than a deputy mayor. So not for themselves them votes for, now for we all within a Freetown, they elect a deputy mayor.
Okay, continue for the week.
So not to them property, not to them personal property.
Continue for the week inside the program. Floyd Alex Davis, local government expert. Continue for the week. We come back to you inside the program. Good morning, Salum. We come to the other studio guest, Abdul Karim Fofana from Ward 445. And the constituency 132. In the chairperson in charge of information, education, and communication, they represent councillors and the program Good Morning Salon on the decision for say do not want the deputy mayor again as the deputy mayor na the Freetown City Council. Mr. Fofana, before we go for that break, we'll be in the debate on the process and procedures for remove the deputy mayor, and Floyd Alex Davis and local government experts get issue with the procedures. And Yusuf State said the letter will write to the Minister of Local Government now on removal, not to a complaint. Say, now complaint will write or removal.
We complain, say we, the elected officials of the municipality, 2/3 majority of we, not 38 of we, don't pen down with signature, don't take a resolution, so we don't want to again as a deputy mayor.
So, earlier you say, as it stands, we are still wait for get from the Ministry of Local Government for personal decision, but we don't already decide, say, we don't want again, and in fact, to deputy mayor again.
We say we really recognize against deputy mayor. But I just want to set the record straight. We're the legal practitioner, maybe they explain here, but the act, it make it clearly say the act gets some complication. Don't know to rewrite them. You know, so we know to the draft of them. But now we think the right way they work towards. For instance, I just want to read this section again back. Section 19.1. It said a local council may appoint such committees, consist of such councillors, and perform such functions as the council may think fit. Then committees there get various responsibility. We get budget and finance committee, we comprise of all chairpersons when they approve budget for council.
The issue here, the committee can't be an issue, but the debate now that the committee not adequate for passing
verdict. I want
verdict.
to talk about the legality of it. Say that committee will take decision. The labor assessment committee, a necessary, a legal, it didn't the acts.
A decision enough from them for pass verdicts.
Well, make her answer that question, Lee.
Then also again, I want you to know that last section again, please.
1 minute, Mr. Davis.
Yeah. Then take a look at section 15.7. It says a local council may at any time require any officer employed by it or under its control to attend any of its meetings to provide information or assistance as the council may require. But such official shall not vote on any of the matter or decision of the council. Now, if the deputy mayor, they under council, if they work for council, why if council call and not for response to council call? If the same act again, section 19.1a tell you say, council get the responsibility for create committees there, then committees there, they manage for make sure they deal with the day-to-day activities of the council. If we get labor assessment committee, we do with security, complaint, recruitment, you get a complaint, we come out with someone, you know, for honor.
So at this stage, with the explanation where we don't get from you and the local government act experts at the studio this morning, and also we don't listen earlier to the minister, maybe they say una forget time to the ministry, then we'll get back to una. Now waiting go reverse on a decision because you say una not recognize the deputy mayor anymore. Yeah. Waiting go reverse this decision at this stage.
First of all, the deputy mayor lack respect for we because we, the elected officials, we represent Freetown as the under. Now we thought a necessary voter for the deputy mayor. So any decision we take now, Freetown as a decision we take so. 38 of councillors we now 48. You know what it means? It speaks volumes. It tells you say the people of Freetown don't take a decision. So where the legal maybe explain and say if parliamentarians where they vote in different constituencies if they take decision, it means that the people of Freetown take decision.
So let's go reverse on a decision at this stage.
May the minister, the honorable minister, doing duty. In duty now for make sure say inform the chairperson or the mayor as the case might be. The law say within 7 days and write to the Chief Justice, made a certain panel of investigators. Because we strongly believe say the allegation that level against that is fact is true.
All right, let's continue for the between the program Councillor Abdul Karim Fofana Labinka.
Mabel, quick one before we go to Floyd Alex Davis. I've been asked Councillor Fofana earlier. We been stored that question day first. I've been asked him earlier about the decision we council take against that person we been present that falsified document and we been accepted earlier.
We give the document form. How will come about for another one now say they don't get false documents now because you go for go institute your business day and it meets another kogomo be dead we be done they establish all this while. So that one they count the complication. We say not you get they say na get we say how you get them. We explain go now say deputy mayor be one get receipts say don't list date to her for 10 years all and stuff that.
Una ask about the backdate one with then game we accept.
Yes, of course, 2014.
Una ask why you accept backdated receipts.
They say deputy mayor be telling me no worry.
So what you wanna do about them? As una say the deputy mayor fraud the city and he do them alongside somebody.
So what we end up for do, because now we're residents, we manage them for make sure we provide basic social amenities for them, not to follow we wicked them or cheat them. We tell us a go through due process. The procedure for get land accounts if you want for this property, what is supposed for do? One, you write to the chief administrator. When you write to the chief administrator, you make your intent no say you want a piece of land which you choose in a social location. Right. Within that process, they counter. to the Assets and Management Committee, which comprises of councillors. The councillors will sit down and deliberate on it now. When we get council meeting, now they will go make a resolution, say, okay, we want to give this particular piece of land to a particular individual. So we tell us we go to do procedures.
We want to look at messaging, but quickly, like I'm to Floyd Alex Davis, we don't listen to waiting councillor don't say, and you said don't explain, according to you, waiting for what happen, waiting at the procedures them, where una put inside the law as to how they go pull the deputy mayor and the Freetown City Council, we're in situation where they look at in this case. So waiting you the advice as one of the local government experts them, and you get legal background as well. What you the advise the councillor them for do at this stage, because then say they're not going to recognize the deputy mayor again. What you the advise, being that you don't explain all what it entails according to the law for remove the deputy mayor.
Okay, just briefly, council get rights for set up committees, but when it comes for remove a councillor or a deputy mayor, a special committee. So then committee I will on that labor committee not apply to this. Then I for just date so they running. Now, maybe for answer your question, what I would advise council for do. First of all, council not so a lawless body, a legal body set up by the Local Government Acts. Therefore, they need for follow the procedure under the Local Government Acts. Just like how council bylaws, when I set up bylaws, and I expect the people of Freetown for abide by those bylaws. Likewise, when I say for abide by the dictates of the Local Government Acts. And I make a glad way answer that question, say, when I don't write letter to the minister. So wait till I get for Donana for waits for the minister. Now the minister in the interview I listen don't say it. I think if invites Una this week for make Una all go sit down and talk. The reason why I think say it need for invites Una and for explain the legal steps them we don't begin explain at this program so Una go understand, then Una go take the right decision. If now under section 9 Una get for go, then Una go need for rights letter and set up that complaints and arbitration committee where Una go recommend independent people into the ministry, then for make the ministry accept them, then they investigate. Or if now section 12 Una get for follow, Una wait for the Chief Justice for set up a panel of 3 for investigate. So now that's my advice to council. As a legal body, you know, a corporate body, a legal body, this man, na deputy mayor still of council. All right, until Una completes the process. Una don't make mistake. Una make sure say Una go through the correct process.
Floyd Alex Davis, continue for the with me inside the program. Good morning. Salon, Una already send a text message them on 077-981-981 and also on the Facebook live page. Mabel?
All right, the very first one I look at, it said the mayor was not removed as a councillor, was removed as deputy. Okay, now the deputy mayor. The deputy mayor was not removed as a councillor, was removed as deputy mayor, which they as councillor voted for. He is not elected in a general election, but elected by councillors in a council meeting.
Josiah, now with Facebook page, they ask, so FCC don't have legal advisor?
All right, Man Abatuna Facebook say who voted the councillors and give them power to elect the deputy mayor. Knows these guys are representing us. Whatever it is on our behalf, he said we don't vote them, and how can we elect them?
Lawrence, our Facebook page, they say emotion is not allowed in law. Follow process to make it legal.
All right, so from their message, and they will come over to you, Councillor Abdul Karim Fofana. We don't listen to waiting Floyd Alex Davis advice. As Nadena the drafters them of this particular law where we look at it, we get for do with Una issue. So Una the councillor them ready for go back to the drawing board and go through the procedures them way according to Amedo explain say Una be miss for unseat the deputy mayor.
I strongly believe say we are law abiding people we know they're above the law. But also one for make and say we follow some of the procedures that we don't need. Just like one measure. Of course, we don't need process because if we don't write a letter within 7 days, now so the law say the ministry or the minister in response for them copy the mayor. And within that process also for them copy the Chief Justice. Up till they don't pass 7 days, it not happen it. They also don't take a resolution. Resolution made by council is prima facie. Any resolution we council take, it's prima facie by law. Because we are elected officials and we charge with the responsibility for make laws and also provide business and amenities for people.
Earlier we be the talk, you make mention say the deputy mayor not get respect for Una the councillors them.
Sure.
Is there any personal issues we wanna get with the deputy mayor apart from then thing we been stated earlier?
We don't get any personal issue. Now, attitude towards this particular issue they come up no more. For refer to elected officials, we a committee by law. It make provision for the one refers to as kangaroo people. That may not legal. Do you understand? If you have to as kangaroo, that will not legal. So now insult to every people of Freetown, they vote for we. That's it of who.
Well, I know I'm be lawyer.
Why you refer to elected officials as
I know I'm be lawyer for the deputy mayor, but the deputy mayor, I think, don't read the law. You know, say that committee will invite her, not legal under the law.
Floyd Alex Davis, make a come to you. Now we look at the issue na council. Earlier, we get the CA and the councillor. Very serious concern. And now we get the deputy mayor and the councillors.
Yeah.
This continuous issues, confusion at the Freetown City Council, what it mean for the development of the municipality?
Very worrisome, because the council, the chief administrator, local council chief administrator, and I like the permanent secretary of a ministry, and the mayor and the councillors and suppose for work. Then now you get the deputy mayor and the mayor for the hand in hand, and the councillors then serve the shape. So I mean, it really worrisome. I hope say the Ministry of Local Governments, because now that's then sets them up for able to resolve their issues there, because there will always be problems, but when there are problems, there are ways to solve them. And I think saying that the ministry
at this stage, you think that we need
problem.
administrative inquiry into the Freetown City Council properly for settle some of the issues also with the boil at the council?
Well, now that make us say you get the Minister of Local Governments. Now that's it. If I get all the experts, them, the director of local governments, they all did it. You know, that they own their own work for do that. Then now I see we also get Minister of Western Area. You know, so INSEF, I think, say go able, and she was a diplomat, Minister of Foreign Affairs, I believe, so with intact and all, and cable gets the city council in place. Not also councillor.
Well, many thanks to you joining the program this morning, Floyd Alex Davis, local government experts, and also the people we put together the 2004 Local Government Act and also the local government policy and the review of the act. Thank you, Ikan, at the studio. But as we wrap up the program, I come over to you, Councillor Abdul Karim Fofana. Being that you don't know the council for some time, and we, as my colleague make mention just now, not for the first time this way issues don't they come out now the Freetown City Council where we're looking forward to the Ministry of Local Government. In this case, when I think say the ministry they get on an issue with the seriousness when I think say deserve?
Not at all, because 4 months or 5 months back, administrative inquiry, no story, how many millions they hit both case. Nobody knows what that happened. So if the same deputy and mayor not don't get issue, we don't get to get to the ministry, nothing will come out of it that is positive.
Now, so that's assumption that?
Definitely. A 4 months or 5 months back, administrative inquiry between the chief administrator and worship the mayor. From where they get other panels that they will go do investigations, nothing will come out in the reports. They eat the money free. So if we don't get another complaint again, the deputy mayor will tell we say, what's not the ministry?
So now what's not they recommend for happen?
Would expect the ministry, we a supervising body, a parent body, for acts maturely and then for remedy the situation of Freetown City Council. Because if they don't intervene, development will be starving, the country will be full, the city will be
But from what you expect, like you already not don't lost trust, say the ministry will get forget, give a judgment we go find for una.
So it's time for the gentleman for acts now, improve what we're wrong.
All right. Many thanks for joining at the program this morning. Councillor Abdul Karim Fofana, Councillor for Ward 445, na constituency 132 na Lumley. Thank you. We can explain to listeners them the issue at the Freetown City Council, and we promise we will continue for look at this issue. Anytime we get from the Ministry of Local Government, we will bring the update. And I think we can at the studio. Now, this edition of the program, Good Morning Salon Golefuna. Plenty thank you to the production team, Alex Lawrence Kroma and Michael Sambola, the produce the program. DJ Ahmad give you technical support. Moses Kabra make on us on Facebook. So till we meet again, Mabel Kabadi say goodbye.
And Musa Kamara they say bye-bye.